newly released sheriff's report is raising questions about the response by law enforcement in the case of slain Florida college student Miya Marcano. On September 24th, the 19-year-old Valencia College student missed a flight to visit her family in South Florida. She seemed to have vanished until her body was found on October 2nd. Now, 5 days before her body was discovered, her suspected killer, a maintenance worker at the apartment complex where she lived and worked, was found dead of an apparent suicide. The sheriff's report on their response was heavily redacted, and now her family wants to know what they're hiding. Daryl Washington is the attorney for Miya Marcano's family. Mr. Washington, thank you, first of all, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you say the sheriff's department did not act quickly enough. What did they do, and what should they have done differently?
Well, there's no way to say it other than to say that the sheriff deputy dropped the ball in this case. Prior to encountering the suspect in this case, the sheriff deputy had the opportunity to talk to two witnesses who told them that the individual that they needed to talk to was the maintenance employee. They made it very clear with the sheriff deputy that this maintenance employee had been harassing Miya. He had been sending her unwanted text messages, and Miya had made it known to several of her co-employees, as well as her friends and family, that this guy really made her feel uncomfortable. So it was just, no sense why this sheriff's deputy did not take those complaints very serious.
And Mr. Washington, you mentioned that maintenance worker. His name was Armando Caballero. Investigators do say they believe he was responsible for Miya's murder. Caballero, of course, found dead of an apparent suicide 3 days after Miya disappeared, but before her body was discovered. You said that Miya mentioned to friends, to family, that he made her uncomfortable. What did she say to them about him?
I mean, that this guy had been sending her very long text messages, asking to date her, asking to give her money, and each time she rejected that. And if you had an opportunity to look at the incident report, that was actually confirmed in the incident report. I was very surprised that Armando actually told the sheriff deputy that he tried to date Miya, and she rejected all his advances. So that alone should have told the sheriff deputy that this is the individual that we probably need to talk to in more detail. Not to mention, when this sheriff deputy had the opportunity to talk to the roommate, clearly Miya's room was in disarray. You can tell that there was some type of struggle that had taken place. But if you look at the incident report, this sheriff deputy clearly said that this room was clean. And that just was not the truth. There was just so many signs that led to a struggle taking place in this room. And this was just very disappointing to the family because, as you know, in these cases, every second matters.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to get more into that redacted report. But first, we mentioned that he was a maintenance worker because that means he had access via, the key, the master key to all of the apartments in that complex, correct?
Yes, and that is really the scary part about it. When you look at this person's background, we learned that this person had a felony charge on his record. So just to think that an individual like that would have access not only to Miya's apartment, but to everybody's apartment within that complex, that is extremely scary. You just wonder what type of policies that the Arden Villas had in place. This guy was allegedly off work at the time that he was waiting in Miya's apartment. So you would think that if a master key fob was missing, somebody from the apartment complex would be alerted to this. So there's just so much that took place that we have many questions that are still unanswered.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's a concern for anybody who lives in an apartment complex because obviously maintenance has to get in there. Let's get back to that report. Now, why does the sheriff's department say it is so heavily redacted? And then were you able to learn anything more about Miya's last days, her last hours, her last minutes?
Well, as you know, we still don't know what was the cause of death. We don't know what was even the time of death. So there has been so much speculation by the sheriff as to when Miya was actually killed. That incident report, I'll be very honest with you, we were very surprised when it was released to the media. Ever since the video came out with Sheriff or Deputy Paulina's encounter with Armando, this sheriff office has been in the defense mode. And I think the reason that they released this incident report was basically to try to get the public to feel as if there was no reason to treat Mia's apartment as a crime scene. But I think what this incident report has done is it has given people so many more questions with the heavy redactions. If you're trying to be transparent, what is the point of releasing an incident report where more than 3/4 of the report is actually redacted? So it's really even hard to know what was even mentioned in that incident report.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we can certainly hear the frustration, understandably, in your voice there. You know, this is a 19-year-old life unexpectedly cut short. We know that Mia's family launched a foundation over the weekend. At this point, what does justice look like for her family?
I mean, what justice really look like is getting answers. And making sure that there are laws that are put into place that are going to protect other young college students as well as women throughout this country. Mia family does not want this to happen to anyone else. I think what Mia's case has done is it has really put a spotlight on how law enforcement truly treats these cases. We saw firsthand in this video that this officer or this deputy did not act with a sense of urgency. And as you know, families know their children. And I think there were enough of signs that were given to this deputy that he really needed to detain Armando. I know dealing with these cases and dealing with other cases, there have been African Americans who have been detained for 15 and 16 hours at a time for minor incidents. So for them to say that they did not have enough of reasonable suspicion to detain this individual, that's very problematic.
It certainly is. Well, Attorney Daryl Washington, of course, we will check back in with you. This case is certainly far from concluded. So thank you so much, sir, for your time tonight.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for putting a spotlight on this case.
Absolutely. And we do want to say we did reach out to the Orange County Sheriff's Office multiple times for their response. We did not hear back from them. Now,